You have to say it. Okay, this is hi. Hi, I'm hosting, and I feel awkward every time I start this freaking podcast. We are failing with style, and I'm here with my co-host, Raul. Funny Raul.
Funny Raul. That's been, let me tell you, Daisy, such a brilliant proposal by you, like to change my name and stuff like that. Honestly, people recognize me 1,000 times because of Funny Raul.
Do they call you out in the streets? Hey, Funny Raul.
Not only that, look, wait. I'm going to hold on for 1 second. I'm here. I'm podcast here. We're not stopping, but I want to show you guys something really cool.
Okay, go get it. What are you getting over there? Shut up. Did they make one of you?
So, hold on.
He can't hear me.
Hello?
Did they make one of you?
So, Nancy, a very loyal listener of our podcast, and she also comes out to all my comedy shows. Really nice lady. She made me. Look at this.
What? How? That's amazing. Oh my gosh. Look at you with the mic and your beard. Yo, that's dope, man.
Thank you, Nancy. This is awesome. One of the best gifts I've ever gotten.
How do you do that? Oh, it's like a thing. You can make yourself one of them.
One of one.
Aww. Did she make that? You are one of one?
I think you can send your pictures and stuff to Pop, and they can formulate something in your
and personalize you.
Or personalize it.
That's so sweet. Make me one.
Isn't that awesome? Nancy, make one. Make Daisy one.
No, not Nancy. Nancy doesn't even know me. We gotta meet.
She listens to the podcast. She's very critical about my attire and that I dominate the podcast too much.
What's wrong with your attire? We only see a quarter of your attire.
Well, apparently I have rolled up collars. Sometimes I do episodes or nasty looking collars on shirts. Trust me, it's not only you. It's not only Nancy. It's not only you. It's my mom. My mom has been I look like a starving artist, which is great. Thanks, Mom. Appreciate that.
You know what? Thank you for this criticism because I do feel like Raul can come a little more professional to these things.
Mira que está hablando.
I know. This is casual me. This is probably the third time I wear this sweater on this podcast. It's so cold out here. I only have a number amount.
Oh man, how cold is it? Just so I know.
Today wasn't too bad, but I think it was in the 40s today, but it snowed last week and I just do real bad with cold. But we should get to the topic. Let's get to the topic.
Well, first of all, how was your week?
My week, I caught up on my homework.
Yeah.
And I was very proud of that because I had a setback. I was actually behind in my homework for 3 weeks. And I filled myself with some anxiety around that, but I had to keep telling myself it's okay and I can get there. And I got there. And now I'm back on track, man. That's amazing. Yes. Wasn't that the topic for today? What did you say?
We'll get to the topic soon. Soon. Right. Can I say my week was?
Okay? Yeah, how was your week?
My week was good. Friday I did a show for the town of Cutler Bay. Thank you, town of Cutler Bay. Love doing shows for you. It was a holiday show we did. It was very nice. I have people who actually like specific jokes of mine and come to some of my shows just to hear a specific joke of mine.
Oh my gosh, you have that one joke that
I have one joke. Not Bert Kreischer or anything.
It's a thread.
It's a joke that I have because I have to do a clean show whenever I work for municipality, right? Whenever I work for Town of Cutler Bay, Coconut Grove, Sunrise, any of those municipalities, I have to do a clean show, right? So I have a very kind of distinct 10 minutes. But it was just hilarious that one lady, I didn't do it in the beginning of my act, this joke. And then I called the comedian performed. When I came back, I started on that joke and she was like, yeah.
You hear her in the audience.
I heard it in the audience. And she approached me there. She's like, I love that joke so much.
That's awesome. So you're going to get to the point where the crowd is going to repeat what you say or say it along with you. Is that where you want to get?
I don't know. I want people to be happy when I do comedy shows. People are asking me. A lot of people have been asking me recently, like, what type of comedian I am, and I'm like, I'm really like, I want the crowd to leave happy. That's like kind of my like thought process. I want like the crowd to be just like joyful. I'm not an angry comedian, not like Louis Black or anything like that. Not knocking on Louis Black's one of my favorite comedians of all time, but I just don't have that demeanor. I don't like making the audience uncomfortable. So
Well, I'm thinking of something now that you say that because you're supposed to roast this weekend.
I am this weekend, this Friday
So
coming up. I'm
how,
going.
Eric and I were wondering about that because I was like, how is he going to roast? And he's like the nicest guy. I just don't.
I can be harsh.
Yeah, we'll see.
I can be scary. So yeah, this Friday I'm going to see. Can we announce this? Can we say this?
Yeah,
Is it
go
okay?
ahead. I don't think it's going to be out on time.
No, maybe not. But
Yeah.
I'm going over to see Daisy in Denver.
Yeah.
We're going to do a live in-person podcast. Me and Katie. Katie's coming as well. I don't want to knock Katie out. So yes, Friday, if you guys want to come find me, I usually do plugs at the end, but Friday, what day is it? It's December. I don't know why I'm saying the plugs because no one's gonna hear this.
No one's gonna be there. I mean, I'm letting it happen, but
Okay,
just whatever makes you happy.
This Friday, at a place called Wide Right, I'm gonna be doing a roast battle there. It's my first ever roast battle. I've never done a roast battle.
Yeah, you know what? I'll film you. Is that okay? And then we can.
You can film me. I just feel bad because like I already gave the person I'm roast battling like notes about me because that's what you do as a comedian. You want to give notes to each other about each other so that the roasts are like good. Like
also you get to know them through what they tell you.
Yeah,
like these are some things you can roast about.
Yeah, these are like personal things or things you can roast about.
Oh, cool.
So like I gave her some stuff and she gave me some stuff. So
you're Christine getting Brennan. Roasted too.
Yeah, it's a roast battle. We're roasting each other.
Wow, I'm excited for this. So, I get to attend this one live, guys. I've only seen Raul be on the comedy stage like once, and that was in Homestead, right when you were starting out, I think, right?
Yep. Oh man. Yeah, it was a long time ago in the galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, so now I get to see your growth and how good you are.
Yeah, this is only the second or third time I've ever performed outside of Florida. So it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah. So I'm just going to say today's topic. It's about accomplishments.
We got to stay on track.
I know. Well, this is how we work, right? Like, this is why we talked about how we're, you got to like, what is it? Boost your own ego sometimes.
Yeah.
Because nobody else will. So
this is the Abbott and Costello to me and Daisy. This is what I'm figuring out. The Abbott and Costello to me and Daisy is that I'm kind of like, even though I'm not like this in my real life, I'm very bohemian, I'm very laissez-faire, I'm very like free flow, like whatever, we can talk about whatever. Daisy is like, there has to be a plan, there has to be coordination. These time slots we have to hit. Bop, 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 bop.
I never thought of myself as that way, but I guess I've never, like, I thought I was the one who was laid back. But, the more that I've had to do things on my own, I'm like, oh, I kind of am like alpha sometimes. And I have to be okay with that. Yeah. I have to just, like, accept that stance, I guess, right? Like,
whatever you want to call it.
That's my leadership role.
Your leadership role.
Yes, I am so we say that Raul is the godfather, right? Mm-hmm. Like, and then if you guys have seen Zootopia, I feel like I'm that little godfather to Raul. Like the little, what is he, like a rodent?
He's like a weasel or something. Not weasel. I want to say he's a weasel. Hold on. I'm going to look it up while you talk about it.
Okay, yeah. So like every time that I have to deal with Raul, I feel like I have to be the godfather because I don't want to air our dirty laundry here, but I need him to be on time. He's
Mr. Big. Mr. Big.
Mr. Big.
Mr. Big is, ironically, the first thing that comes out about Mr. Big, Catholic. That's such a weird thing.
How do you even know that?
Because that's literally like when you look it up, like he is an Arctic shrew. An Arctic shrew. And
But you know
Catholic.
what? You know what's cool is that I'm Mr. Big, and then
Mm-hmm.
you're like the Godfather, and somehow, some way, we just make this work.
Yes, two alphas.
Yeah.
Thank God we have so many states separating us.
I know, right? What am I gonna do? And then it's gonna be like, I think, I think what works for us is that we communicate with each other, and that's what
Yes,
it
we
is.
do. We
Yeah.
do.
But I want to talk about your accomplishments.
Yes. The improv. You want to talk about the improv?
Yeah, whatever.
Didn't we
You
talk about it
said.
last episode? I feel like we're talking about too much.
Yeah, we talk about you a lot.
We do. Daisy, go back to you. Well, let's talk about the topic of the day because I think that's what you really want to get to. So, I was thinking, over. We usually try to think of a topic before any of our episodes, right? Because we want to kind of have, again, like some structure, some like formulation to our podcasts. And again, our podcast is really based on like us like growing not only mentally, spiritually, and physically in our career fields and our journeys in our life, right? So something I've been thinking about a lot lately is not only celebrating your successes or your wins, but acknowledging them. I think that acknowledging them is a really like the key point there. Because to give you an example, after the day after the improv show went great. It was gangbusters. A room that was formerly mine was picked up by another group. And it was kind of done a little shadily, let's say. And I felt like it was going to knock me down zero. I felt like I was bummed out. Like I was like, man, this really sucks. This really hurts my feelings. It hurts like I lost something that I worked on and stuff like that. But it took another comedian to tell me, hey, man, look at all the path you've built. Like the all the little successes you've had from the improv shows to the shows I do in West Kendall and Mel Grapes to, the following I have now, the things, the Comic-Con shows.
To that lady that said yes, right? To your
Then what happened?
joke. To the lady that said
The
yes
lady
to
that said
your
yes to the
joke.
joke, who loved my joke.
Yeah, it's
Um,
amazing.
and I was like, man, yeah, it wasn't that big of a loss, honestly. And I should really, really acknowledge, hey, I've come a long way, and I need to like. I feel like when I look at my visual perception of success or having a successful career is like a ladder or like a staircase, right? So whenever you're having major success, you feel like you're running up the staircase, right? Whenever you have a failure, you feel like you've fallen back a few steps or you've like lagged behind a few steps. And anytime I had a failure, I felt like I was back at the base of the staircase. I always felt like I was back down there on the beginning steps, and I felt like I was starting step zero, right? But it's not. It's not. There's different levels to each staircase. There's different things. There's different accomplishments and levels of accomplishments. But you're definitely not at the bottom anymore. And I feel like a lot of people, not just like myself, but a lot of people suffer from that they have a failure in their pursuit and it drops them all the way back to zero. And they shouldn't feel that way. Because I feel like that also leads you to wanting to quit or wanting to give up on this pursuit.
Yeah.
So that's the topic I want to talk about today.
Well, I would say like that whole setback is sometimes very necessary in your journey. Like I honestly think that, and this is like sort of why we created this whole podcast, is because some of those setbacks can feel really, really big and they can weigh heavily on you. But if you don't take the time, oh my gosh, do you see this?
What is that? What was that? That's pretty cool.
I don't like it. It's like a Zoom thing or like this new thing with Apple that pops up a little thing. I forgot to take that off. It's very distracting.
It's okay. It's a little failure. We're fine.
This is the setback that I'm talking about. See, look, I couldn't let that thing ruin the whole podcast, but I will continue.
Thank you.
But like for me, I've had those really big setbacks in my life, and I will share that recently I went through a really big setback in my life with my mental health. And it was a very scary situation for me and my family. And I think what helped me is that I want to be a mental health advocate because I've had these type of setbacks before. And what I've started to realize is that I can actually learn from these setbacks because since it's happened to me one time before, I can kind of be like, oh, these are like some things that are not going well. I can catch it and get better from it. Um, and or seek help if I need to, right? Because a lot of
Yeah.
times we drown in our own like
You
mental
wallow.
faculties. Yeah, and you wallow there and you sit there and like you forget that there's friends and family out there that are there to help you out. And honestly, it was the love and support that helped me. And now I'm stronger for it because I've seen what can get me there. I know the little signs that I need to ask for help. And now I'm here, like back on the podcast, doing my art, catching up with my stuff, and being grateful, right? For
Being
all
Mr.
those,
Big.
huh? And
Being
being
Mr.
Mr.
Big.
Big. Yeah, I'm back, man. But being grateful for all those little accomplishments that I've done in my life and realize like a year ago, I was trying out storyboards in this class and they looked atrocious, but I was doing my best. And now I'm in a place where I'm having like serious gains in my art that I wouldn't have seen myself. And it's kind of like fast. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this so quickly. Like, I'm not spending hours and hours on one thing. And I see my progress in that way. And it feels really cool.
Can I ask a question, Daisy?
Yeah.
Okay, do you remember when you were doing starting these classes, the line class or the line lesson where
Oh
you're
my
just drawing
God.
lines and lines and lines and lines and you hated it
Yes.
and you were like done with it? Do you now appreciate
I
the
so appreciate.
yeah?
I so appreciate that class. Do you know that perspective is actually one of the things that artists struggle with the most? And I even heard like one of my mentors once told me, he's like, I didn't get perspective until like 10 years into my career. And I was like, maybe I should learn this. And once I learned it, though, it was like all the doors opened up for me. And I took that to the heart. Like, I was like, my mentor did that. Like, I need to figure that out. And now that I have perspective down, man, like, it just comes to me because those hours and hours of like dreadful practice, I can finally like just be like, oh no, the box is facing that way. It's going this way. And I'm like, hell yeah, I know perspective. And it's cool, man. It's a cool tool to have in your tool belt.
I, it's things like every once in a while I'll get a comedian who's just starting and he or she will go to a room that's like barren. Maybe there's like three people there. And it's like, why am I here? Why am I here in this dead dive bar in the middle of the night? I'm like, these are the rooms that make you. You need these rooms to appreciate when you're in a big room. And and this is something I will believe in every comedian will tell you this. It is harder to make a room of three people laugh than a room of 500 by far. By far. If I can make those people, because they're much more aware of their laughter. A lot of times people laugh because it's part of the wave. It's part of
Yeah.
like the emotion. They're laughing
It's
because
like
the
a
emotion
collective
of the
laugh.
joke.
Yeah.
Exactly. They're not laughing because they actually find it funny sometimes. But when I can get a room of like 3 or 5 people and I can get at least like 3 of them to pop like really hard, I know, okay, this joke has legs. This joke will work
Oh
because
my
I know I
gosh.
can make a good amount of the audience laugh.
I've never thought about that, but that's funny because I'd probably be like that person in the audience that's like, I'm not laughing at this guy.
You're getting a guarded
especially,
audience.
especially because I'm like self-conscious about my laugh. Like the really, really, like the one that really comes from me is I sound like a frog or something. I don't know. so bad. It just like comes out, and I'm like, oh my God, this is like the only laugh that you can hear in your living room. Like, I never want to laugh like that outside. So that is a big accomplishment. Can you believe, like, if somebody's up there trying to do their comedy joke and then get somebody to laugh like that? Yeah, man. I'd feel like the biggest, yeah, person on earth.
Yeah,
That's a big
it's
ego boost.
it is it is, and it makes you appreciate the hard times. It really
Mm.
does. So again, going back to like sometimes I'll have a room that doesn't pack out well. You know, sometimes I'll have a situation where I'm not performing in front of the audience I want to be performing in front of. But life has led me to these rooms. Life has led me to these performances. And even though they might not go well, it's just a small setback into like all again, this like stack of successes. I think we all forget. We all have short term memory as far as when it comes to our career, our dreams and stuff like that. And it's one of the things that I think is that we need to appreciate. It's one of the reasons I celebrate. Like right after the improv show, we went to Flanagan's. I hadn't been to Flanagan's in 5 months,
Oh, I
and it
miss
was like,
Flanagan's.
what happened?
I miss Flanagan's.
Flanagan's, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
hadn't been to Flanagan's in months, and I was like, you know what? This is a Flanagan's night. We're going to Flanagan's, and we all went to Flanagan's. We ate way too much, but it was worth it because we celebrated and we talked about how great it was. It might seem redundant. It might even seem annoying, but it's important, so important to celebrate the wins
It's so
because
nice that you have your crew with you too to celebrate that
it
because,
is.
yeah, like I think a struggle with what I go through is that um, as an artist, it can get a little lonely,
Yeah.
like, because you're doing all these drawings by yourself. And then you're like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. And you post it on Instagram, you get a few likes, and you're like, okay, move on. You know? so, so I have to like make the time to like celebrate those big wins. I feel like for me, this podcast is, something that keeps me going too, because it's not just my art that I'm doing, it's also my podcast that I get to interact with somebody. Because as an artist, man, I'm starting to realize I need to be in a studio or something because I'm a very social being, and being at
Mm-hmm.
my house all the time I get cabin fever and it can drive me nuts.
It gets really rough. It gets really rough.
Yeah.
That's
Meanwhile, you're like up there with hundreds of people laughing at you and you go home and
sometimes that can be the most lonely place in the world. So don't get twisted. The favorite part, every single comedian. I've been saying every single comedian say this, and I gotta stop doing that because I'm generalizing way too much. But many comedians, their favorite part of comedy is the hang after. It's my favorite part. It's my favorite part where you're shooting, where you're just like, kicking around with a bunch of your best comedian friends, just having fun, riffing on each other, working on jokes together.
Yeah, thanks for
It's
making me jealous. My gosh.
you can come by.
And you're
Andrew
like
came by.
talking about my like my loneliest, and you're like, yeah, it is the best to be with my friends. Sorry you're feeling so lonely over there.
Oh, you're not gonna be that lonely soon.
No, I know. I'm really excited for you guys to come out. I'm just saying I gotta make like my own community here. I need to be in a studio one day because
Sure.
I'm counting down those days, man. Especially like as a nurse in nursing, you had that teamwork all the time and you're used to that. So
Yeah.
then to come from that and then to go to this, I'm just counting the days, man. That's why I'm like, man, this is getting easier and easier. One day I'm going to be in the studio with other people. So I truly appreciate actually when you and Katie are like going to come out to see me. Thank you. I'm very excited about that. My gosh. To have some like vida in my life, man.
Yeah. I
And
can
Eric does
imagine.
great. Eric does great, but you know.
No, I got you. I got you.
Mm,
You know, but outside of the actual performances, Daisy, I'm pretty lonely a lot of times. I don't want to make it seem
yeah.
like, well, I'm writing down a lot of my jokes. I will say this. Oh man, The whole thing about like you get your best ideas in the shower, it's real. It's real. I've done it so much lately.
uh,
Thank God, like iPhones are water resistant nowadays. Because I'll get a joke thought in my head. I'm like, I'm gonna have to like get my notes and write it down immediately.
oh my
Like,
gosh.
so,
You use your phone in the shower?
yes.
No.
I want to say we'll put a poll up. We should do a poll. How
Yeah,
many
we
people
should.
use their
That is not
phones
right. I leave
in
it
the shower?
outside.
A lot of people. In fact, I think they even make devices. They're like they look like Ziplocs, but they're not. That they
Yeah,
clip onto your
that's for
wall.
if you're going to like a water park. No?
No, 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 no. You don't even know yet.
Okay, go
They
go.
have like this weather stripping thing that they stick onto the side of your tile of your shower, and the thing flaps down, and you put your phone in there. You close it up and zip it up, and you can like watch a podcast or you can watch like a movie
Okay,
while you're in
two
the
things
shower.
about that. My gosh. Number one, that is not okay.
Why not?
That is like a total obsession with your phone. If you're gonna shower, just shower. My gosh. Like, can you not just shower by yourself?
We're gonna put a poll up. We
Number
gotta put a poll up.
two, yeah, number two, I just don't understand that. But if that is happening, number two, use it for our podcast. Thank you.
Yes, please. Please
Plug.
listen to our podcast while you're lavándose.
And yeah, I'll be okay with whatever obsession you have with your phone.
Okay. Oh God.
Where are we going with this?
I don't know. I just the reason I came up with this topic today was because I have a lot of friends in my life, in my circles, that they will have a bad show or they'll have a bad experience, and I feel like they get brought back down to like ground zero, and I kind of want to shake them out of it and be like, hey, bro, it's not the end of the world. Sometimes, yes, we all have bad shows, we all have bad performances, we all have bad drawings, we all have bad art displays. It happens, but it makes you appreciate. It makes you learn from your mistakes. Very important to learn from your mistakes. If you keep repeating your same mistakes, you're just a dummy. But and I don't mean that. I'm trying not to be mean, but
It's fine.
you dummy. It's just something that has been lingering in the back of my mind, and it's so I used to celebrate my wins, like my big show wins, or like whenever I have a good show. I used to do it because I'm like, life is short. We gotta celebrate things. But now I see that there's a purpose. There is like drive. There is such a concrete thing to like celebrate it. Because if you
Yeah,
don't, like
1000%.
it just wanders off, it fades away, and the memory of the success goes away. So
Mm.
you need to celebrate the wins. You need to celebrate the successes, because if you don't, that the memories will lapse, and it's harder to conjure back, and it's hard to remember that you are capable of great things.
Mm.
And it's so important.
Yeah, one of the things that I've been doing, I know you don't journal. We made that clear one podcast that you can't journal because people will make fun of you, but who cares? For the people out there, you should journal. It's a very great thing to do. There's a comedian actually that talked about him journaling. And, anyways, journal, guys. But I was using my journal every time I was sad. Like, every time I was down in the dumps, that's the only time I would use my journal. And I started realizing I should stop doing that. Not stop writing down the bad times, but I also need to start writing down the good times, because often it's like we put more weight on the negative than we do on the positive. And the positive is such a nice like place to be in. You have this like lighthearted energy and things are just going so great. Why not write that down and make it a thing? And if it's not your journal, like you said, like go out to eat and celebrate, or make it a mark on that day, like, man, this is great. That way you can start like rewiring your brain to the positive stuff, and start going after that, because that's what's going to get you out of the dumps. And like, yeah, it's just start watering the better seeds, right? Like you
Exactly.
say.
Outside of my worst shows, the things I remember the most are like the big wins.
Mm-hmm.
It truly is. And I agree with you 1,000%. Like the idea of like giving light to things that deserve your attention, in a sense.
Yeah. Because sometimes it's like, oh, a lot of times it's like, okay, we did this great accomplishment. Even if it's a small one. Like today I drew two of my two environments today and they came out great. I should just celebrate that. In a healthy way.
Within reason.
Yeah.
Everything is within reason, yes.
Because
Jesus.
for me, I'm like, I'm going to eat like 5 donuts today because.
You don't even want to know what I ordered at Flanagan's.
And sometimes it's okay to just maybe do it a healthier way. Maybe I won't do the 5 donuts. Maybe I'll do like I don't know, just a really good dinner, really good healthy dinner.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. I think we've got through this topic pretty well.
Yeah,
Pretty
I
good.
think so.
All right.
You gonna
Working a
celebrate?
nice. I'm gonna celebrate by
Coming to Colorado on the
coming to
weekend.
Colorado. Yes. So where can nice people find you, Daisy?
So I'm at Daisy Visiana on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn. We now have a Facebook up, and it's Failing with Style.
And we have a Spotify.
And we have a Spotify. I need to get on that Spotify and like.
Yeah, we have 0 listeners on our Spotify. Ladies and gentlemen, please, we have a Spotify. Rate and review. Actually, this is something I did need to talk about today. Please follow us at oh my God. Please follow us at Failing with Style Podcast on everything. On Instagram, Facebook, on YouTube, on Spotify. On Spotify specifically, we need you guys to rate and review the podcast. So if you guys can put like, you know what? Be honest. You don't have to put a 5-star.
Put 5-star and then be honest.
Okay, do that. Put 5 stars and then be honest with us, okay? But we need those ratings. We do, because that's the only way we can get out to more people. So please, Spotify, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. We're on everything now. So there's no excuse for you not to listen to us.
And where can the nice people find you, Raul?
The nice people can find me at Funny Raul on all social media.
Awesome. What's very exciting that's coming to the show is that we have booked a bunch of guests, and I'm very excited about that. Some friends, some new ones that I get to meet, and that's going to be really cool. But we'll be talking about their failures and how they've overcome them to be where they are now. So I'm very excited about these guests that are coming on.
I am as well. I think it's going to be really fun. And that's going to begin probably in the beginning of the year. But it's going to be fun. And, of course, Andrew and Katie are always going to pop in.
Yes, our council.
And the council will always convene. Yes. With that, thank you so much, guys. Love you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Hasta huevos.